There we go. Haha. Figured it out. For some reason, it did not want to pick me up. And I had to set up some other stuff. So let's get going, shall we? Cool. All right, we were talking to Father Leonard. All right, Julia. Father. Man, I haven't done Julia's voice in 2 weeks. I gotta work on that, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna try to warm up. Drink my water. Whew, okay. Father, Father, Father. Father, I need to listen. How does Julia talk? I'm a really depressed person. I'm Julia. Maybe. Julia's my name. I'm a super depressed vampire. There we go. I think that's more Julia there. Father, how are you holding up? I'm fine. Stumbling around and hoping for a miracle to happen. Like always. No better place to ask for a miracle than behind these gates, you know. So I hear. As I pass him, the report about Aisling and Agathon. I look around, but Benai is nowhere to be found. Is it Bennett? Benay? I don't know. Yeah, where is he? Where's that clown? You mean Benay? You're the one who said it, not me. In another parish, taking care of a personal issue for me. Thought you might appreciate that. God, I really do. Listen, can't you think of something to placate him? Placate him how exactly? Benay won't accept anything less than me joining a convent. He's like a worried parent. A basic gesture here and there, showing up in church from time to time and pretending to listen would get him off your case. I mean, I've been through this song and dance before with my own worried parents when I was a teenager. Wandering in the forest until Mass was over. Not even being able to smoke because they'd pick up the scent. Not the best moments in my life, you know? And a part of the reason I'm distancing myself from them. I don't need this fake energy in my life. And I'm honestly weirded out by you asking me to lie. I'm not asking you to lie, Julia. Let me ask you this way. Are you a spiritual person? I guess I am. Kind of. Always was. I just can't do Julia's voice that well today. I can tell I'm not doing it that well. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I gotta get back in practice. Always was. Suddenly being able to see the ghost and not change a thing. I think it's mostly because seeing the world as purely material seemed boring to me somehow. You are. And you were raised Catholic. So can't you find a way to express that spirituality in our church? I don't see a way right now. And why is that? I sigh. Too many people who think my soul needs to be saved because I live with a woman, for starters. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. Like the sin of drinking blood every other night, or feeling some primal fear whenever I walk by a clergyman whose faith seems to actually be genuine. That one sounds like an excuse. It's about your relationship with God, not other people. Oh, we got a woke father here. Well, he does hang out with vampires, so. In theory, but back in the old country, I've heard my share of homilies that felt like complete condemnations of my kind, and none that would condemn hate towards people like me. And you know, when church adjacent people try to stir shit around your very existence, every few months, some minimal support would be appreciated. Sorry, all you can count on is silent complicity. I get it. I know there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of undeserved hurt going around, but... Listen, I don't even want to talk about it. I fucking hate the tone I use when I talk about it. I sound preachier than those preachers, and my biggest dream is just to not give a shit. But I remember things, like the story about a guy from my hometown. Most macho guy around with a jaw you could sharpen a knife on. He became an actor in Warsaw. Very successful. Deservedly so. 1 second. Ooh, I love the orchestra though. I wanted to try to fix this mic, but you know what? You're just gonna hear me kind of fix it. It's like I want it kind of leaning here instead of right next to my mouth. The capital might not be NYC, but it's still a big city. And big city go to heads of bumpkins like us. In his case, it resulted in a dream of coming out to his parents. He was surrounded by all these stories of openly queer people. Played one even. So he thought he had a chance at making it work. So he goes back to his town, tells everyone he's gonna live his truth. His dad, a ruling party adjacent businessman, curses him. His uncle takes him into the bushes and starts to destroy him physically. It's so bad he gets put in the ICU. His face and jaw get ruined. For good. Fast forward a year or two. With his career over, the guy is stuck with his parents' rustic house. With no other path to follow, he turns to God, who tells him to forgive his kin. Everything is fine again. Angelic choirs sing of divine mercy. A kind-looking priest talks about protecting our families. A man sits in the front row of the church, a disfigured smile on his face. But that story alone didn't drive me away. One time when I saw how blissful he was, I could swear he was actually able to hear God whispering to him. He looked like a saint. It fucked me up so bad I left. I feel nauseated now. Maybe I'm still reeling from hearing about Cara and Jesse Montgomery. Now, if we could never talk about it again, that'd be great. I know I tend to sound like a loser who loves to pontificate, but about shit I can't change. Pontificate, sorry. But I at least keep trying to change myself, damn it. I won't offer empty platitudes, but I think I understand what I was meant to understand. I hope I haven't insulted you in any way. Whatever. I've learned not to hold people responsible for what the rest of their organization is doing. It would be hard looking in the mirror otherwise. Not that there's much I could see in the mirror right now. I'm just wondering about one thing. There was always a cross on your chest. I like how it goes with my outfit. Is it just a fashionable accessory to you? I'm just gonna tell him goodnight. I think, you know, he was kind of prying and poking, and she explained to him how she felt about it, and he said, I understand. I hope I haven't insulted you, you know. And it's like, then now you're kind of going in again on the cross. I don't really like that, so we're gonna cut him off here, I think. Have a good night, Father. I find her sitting in bed, scrolling through Pinterest on her phone. So, how are you doing, detective? I fall on the bed, bury my face in the pillows, and scream. That bad, huh? I don't want to tell her about Double Spiral. I still have to figure out how I feel about it. I'm just not cut out for this. Oh, shut up. If you aren't, who is? Sherlock Holmes. Hercule Poirot? I don't know. Poirot? Yeah, maybe. Columbo. Mads Mikkelsen's boyfriend from Hannibal. Whatever his name was, I don't know. Someone who can actually put 2 and 2 together. You can't fool me into believing you're incompetent, you dumbass. I've read your articles. Don't pretend you suddenly forgot how to do your job. I haven't. But I've got no evidence, no witnesses, no promising leads, nothing. I just stumble around assuming things, talking big. So you're like, I don't know, Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, and he actually solved his case. And then wished he never took it up. Is that supposed to cheer me up? I'm just saying that the situation you're in sounds an awful lot like Chinatown. Depraved elites, big plans for the city, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and that's depressing. It is what it is. I just think you should approach it this way and look for a solution to your problems outside of the box. Not as a mystery, but maybe like a trap to escape. 1 second. I don't know why the microphone keeps picking up my mouse clips. I've tried noise gating it. I've tried making sure that it's supposed to only pick up sound from the front, but my mouse is in the back, but it still does. So I'm gonna try I'm moving my mouse really up here. Hopefully it won't be as loud. I'm just kind of sick of hearing it in my headphones because I can hear the stream in my headphones here. All right. Back to what we were doing. Okay, all right. It is what it is. I just think you should approach it this way and look for a solution to your problems outside of the box. Not as a mystery, but maybe like a trap to escape? Maybe. I throw myself on the bed again and lie there for a bit, staring at the ceiling. Then I approach Dakota from behind and tug her sleeve to draw her attention. Psst. Hey. Put the phone away. Now, come on, Jules. We can't do this every night. I've got my own work and I need to worry about anemia. You said so yourself. Besides, I was just looking for inspiration. I rub against her clothes with my face like a cat. You're impossible. Haven't you noticed what's going on in the news? People are going absolutely insane about this virus, canceling trips and orders and... Pretty please? I can't, honey. I have to replenish my stash, and besides, I'm worried about overuse. My brain is working a bit too slow, my balance is off. I was just thinking how I miss meditation. She's giving me clear signals she just wants an excuse. And even though it would be the responsible thing to do, I know she's insatiable. She's usually the one who takes the initiative. Let's try a final push. I bite her ear and whisper in it. Whoa, okay. No drugs tonight. Let's do this raw. Okay. She throws her hands up in the air. Victory. Jesus, you're greedy these days. Always have been. Haven't you noticed? Okay. I guess we're resting? Yes. Oh, you're up early? Yeah, told you. Got work to do. I stretch. That's admirable. Reminds me of that one quote you always used to throw around. A lot of people say you can't smoke dope and get drunk when you got kids, and that's not true. You can, but you still gotta get up in the morning. That's being responsible. That's the one. I never understood why it was so hilarious to you. Neither did I. I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm a responsible person. Are you planning to have kids? Not in a million years. By the way, you've got mail. An envelope by the door. It's from Guider. Inside is a message saying he won't be able to make it tonight, but we'll rendezvous tomorrow to meet D'Angelo. He wants me to lay low until then, and to stay in this apartment if possible. Apparently nobody knows where Tamika is. They only know she's in trouble, and he doesn't want me near it. Well, what is it? I'll just say that. Looks like I need to hit the town. Next lead. Probably useless, but the investigation continues. It would be fun to spend some more time together, you know. Dakota, you know this is important to me. I know. But I like to know I'm important to you as well. That makes two of us. Yeah, today's Julia's voice is going to be really off. Sorry, guys. I don't know what it is. I'm just not getting in tune with it. Just a few more days. I will find the killer, kick his ass, get a promotion, and we'll do something we've never done before. Like what? Good question. I'll think of something. For now, catch up with your work. I need to get going. Fine. Good luck. Stay safe. You know it. This place is weirdly empty tonight. Well, I'll have the usual. I feel there's a big what are we doing in this relationship talk coming if I don't change my ways. Honestly, I'm kinda surprised it hasn't already happened. But most of the time, Dakota has seemed happy enough just listening to the stories of my own life. Even if it's all boring and normal to me, it's exotic and engrossing to her. Guess I have that going for me. Well, I have no idea what to do tonight, so I'll just do the obvious thing and wing it. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it, or however it went. Time to lose myself in these busy streets and pray that the answers I'm looking for are out there. And if they're not, maybe I'll find... maybe I'll at least... I cannot read this line for some reason. My eyes do not want to focus on the text. Maybe I'll at least find some amusement or blood instead. Okay. Camera shyness? No, I don't want to be part of your goddamn interview. Look, I cannot be bothered for one goddamn second. You're not listening. Prince of Cats. I need to resolve this thing with Dakota, as if going around in circles on behalf of the court wasn't stressful enough. Maybe a visit to some quiet neighborhood will help clear my head. Let's do that, because I love Dakota. And anything to do with Dakota, I'm doing it. Plus, that lady looks really, really creepy. We'll do Prince of Cats. Plus, I love cats. There it is. The distinct vibe of Manhattan's residential area. I don't know if you heard me sniff. I'll just say it. Sniff. And an unmistakable scent of casserole enveloping the surroundings in a heavenly aura. The atmosphere of desolation makes it feel more like purgatory, though. There's not a single soul in sight, and... oh, crap. Looks like I'm not alone after all. Some guy exerts himself climbing a nearby tree. I instinctively take a step into the shadows to remain outside his line of sight, but I can barely see anything from where I stand. I'll move closer. My inner voyeur is squirming for more details. I move a few steps closer, keeping to the shadows. For a good while, all I can hear is heavy panting. Come on, dude. This oak isn't even that tall. Sure looks like it's the first time the guy ever tried climbing a tree. It takes a long time for the mysterious trespasser to steady his breath and carry on. As soon as he crawls out of the tree's crown, the dim streetlights reveal a face of a young guy in his early 20s. Against the spectacular night sky and with his exaggeratingly tormented romantic gaze, he truly looks like a hero befitting the cover of a Harlequin paperback. He sizes up one of the longer branches. It seems sturdy enough and nearly reaches a narrow window on the second floor. Still, the guy is hesitant. Okay. Alright, no biggie. Just eyes on the prize. He moves a few steps along the branch, his feet slipping every other step on his way to the window. By some inexplicable fluke, he manages to keep his balance. Once he makes it far enough, the branch slowly bends under his weight. He kneels down, probably calculating his chances to make it over to the windowsill. My guy, if you pull this off, it will be a legit miracle. What? Is somebody there? Shit. Should have been more careful. The trespasser pivots rapidly, startled by the sound of my voice. Sorry about that. Emergency sneeze. See, this is why I like editing better, because I can do that and then I can just reread it and like edit it so you guys don't know I just had an emergency sneeze. But there you go. Now you know I sneezed. Okay. The trespasser pivots rapidly, startled by the sound of my voice. Just as he notices me, he loses his footing and dives straight into the front yard of the nearest house. Ah, shit. He drops to the ground with a muffled thump. Luckily for him, the lawn hasn't been trimmed for a while, and the tall grass cushions his landing, somewhat. As soon as he recovers, the guy gets up and starts limping towards the fence. He tries to climb over, but quickly ends up back on the ground, clutching his leg in pain. He turns to me and starts begging under his nose. Hey, you! Ouch, shit! Please, I'm hurt. Do me a solid and open the gate. Well, with his ankle twisted, he's not going to get out of this mess on his own. And it's not like I'm particularly law-abiding. I guess we'll break the gate lock. So why shouldn't I help him? Just stay where you are and don't move. I don't know how to... And shut the fuck up. Relax. I got this. In 2 swift, bouncy steps, I reach the front gate. Obviously, it's locked, but it's not like that ever stopped me before. Once I'm sure no one can see me, I focus my strength on the gate and pry until the quiet crack announces that the gate is given in. The extraction goes as smoothly as it ever could. I get in quickly, take the guy by his arm, and help him slowly limp out of the front yard. I let go of him a few steps later. He leans against the fence with noticeable relief. Ouch. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. The hell were you doing up there? Well, this is embarrassing. More than falling on your ass like that. He chuckles lightly and looks up at the window, the same one he was trying to reach a few moments ago. This is gonna sound pathetic as hell, but my crush lives in this house. Her shithead father kind of hates my guts, so we get together in secret. Because of her folks nagging, she can't seem to make up her mind about us. She explicitly told me not to swing by her house, but you thought it was a good idea to climb up the walls of her keep like a goddamn Prince Charming and break your neck in her front yard. My remark really gets to him. Yeah, but what can I do? Give up on her? When in my heart of hearts, I know she loves me just as much as I love her. It ain't easy being this cheesy. She's got you good, huh? That she does. Well, do we eat? Do we eat them? Do I throw a rock at the window, or do I tell him to confront her father? Throw a rock at the window. We'll keep it classy, romantic, story type thing. Tough shit, pal. Think fast. I pick up a round pebble and toss it at the window. In a few seconds, it opens with a creak of a wooden frame, followed by the muffled but undeniably happy voice of the resident. Prince, what are you doing down here? I told you... Babe, I have something important to tell you. Can we talk for a moment? She hesitates for a second, but quickly jumps back into her room. Break a leg, lover boy. Maybe not literally this time. He nods at me with gratitude while frantically dusting his jacket off, readying himself for the surprise rendezvous. I give him a casual salute and leave. As I walk away, I just hear smooching coming from the front yard. It makes me smile, if only a little. My peeping eye scores another victory. What a cute story. Heartwarming, nostalgic. It's just too bad it's too cliche to steal from my writing. What? You don't write anymore? Yeah, but it's not like you can simply stop thinking like a writer. Gotta use that energy somehow. Elsewhere somehow. Ow, my ankles. I hurt my ankles yesterday. Sorry, I have to readjust them. But for now, let's start heading downtown. All of a sudden, the world ends. Everything stops. I'm lost in the darkness, and there's not even a heartbeat to guide me. It's like sleep paralysis, except it feels as if I suddenly woke up from reality instead of a dream. Instinctively, I react to it the same way I used to react to whenever I woke up in the middle of the night aware, but not able to move or speak. I just wait for it to pass. But instead of slowly regaining control, I just see a bizarre room emerge from the darkness. Just look at her, flesh refusing its fate. It is. It is not the one you were looking for, is it? He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep is silent before the shears, he did not open his mouth. There is none righteous, not even one. There is none who understands. There is none who seeks for God. All have turned aside. Together they have become useless. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. Raging waves of sea foaming up their own shame, wandering stars, for whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principally... I can't say the word. I've never seen this word, so I'm going to sound it out. Here we go. Sound it out. Principalities. Against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Whenever I become one with the darkness, there's always this nagging fear that it might be impossible to become the normal me again. That instead of shadows returning to normal, I will let my consciousness be dragged somewhere else. Somewhere between worlds. Somewhere like this, wherever this is. This is the first time that fear has come true.
Are you afraid?
It's a bad idea to answer. Don't do it. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
I think I need to sit in this chair.
I think I need to sit in this chair.
Sure, sit in this chair. I sit in the chair.
Still in the lean years and unworthy of joining the rest. For the path is open, and it is a path of obligation, liability, a debt that will be repaid one day. And when she asks you what brought you here, let your response be a scent of death.
Suddenly, I feel my mind beginning to drift away from here. I'm slowly starting to regain control over my thoughts. No, you aren't. Yes, I am. Fine. Think whatever you want. I find myself in a dark corner leaning against a wet, cold brick wall. I think I'm conscious again. Back from wherever it was. Awake. But in an unfamiliar place. Well, let's just hope it's still New York City. I emerge from the shadows to see where I am. A source of light above my head momentarily blinds me, causing me to instinctively raise my hand. As I do, I hit some sort of garbage bag with my hand. It falls to the floor, letting loose a metallic din. What the fuck? A woman. I feel her grabbing my clothes. She brutally drags me closer. With one of my hands already above my head, I raise the other. Easy. Peace. I mean you no harm. How long have you been here? I don't know. Got no idea what I'm doing here or in general, really. It's like sometimes the forces I control figure out how to control me. What are you, a junkie? No, you're kindred. Is this Tamika? Yeah. Keep your shit together, damn it. I'm Julia Swinsky, the representative of the La Sombra in New York City. Camarilla? Uh-huh. I'm a Camarilla investigator. Well, if you came here to catch me, you're gonna be sorry you tried, Miss La Sombra. No, no, no. Stop right there. I wasn't ordered to catch anybody. I'm investigating Douglas Callahan's death. This surprises her. She loosens her grip slightly. Callahan is dead? Nothing left but a rotten carcass and a musty robe. Well, I'll be damned. I've been off the grid for too long. What brought you here? A memory from a different world pops up in my head. Yeah, I think I know the right answer. A scent of death. She lets me go. I rub my eyes and finally get a good look at her face. Yeah, it's Tamika. She's gorgeous, and judging by her nomadic clothes and the particularly fierce aura, she is probably an outlander. Ooh, what is an outlander? I don't know much about Gangrel, so is it not gonna tell me? I don't understand why it tells me. Is it in here? I don't like that. This is what I don't like about this game is sometimes it'll give you dictionary stuff and then I'm like, oh, where's the dictionary? Do I have to finish the dialogue, I guess? I can't just look it up. Little things like that just annoy me. We'll have to talk, you and I. Sure. What's your name? Tamika. Pass me a smoke, will you? If only it could. My heart would skip a beat right now. Tamika. I guess once again, someone out there led me to the proper path. Yeah, sure. When I pass her a cigarette, I realize I'm standing in something wet. Something that smells tasty. I see at my feet. I look at my feet. I see at my feet. I look at my feet and see a puddle of water mixed with blood. Oh, I get it. Were these guys first light? The high-powered guns and expensive-looking outfits. Flashbangers, tasers, all chosen specifically to combat the undead. I recognize that equipment from some horror stories I've heard. First Light C-U-S-S-O-C-O-M, whatever they call themselves. They all bleed out the same, usually before I have the chance to ask them a single question. Government-funded inquisitors. Some claim they're connected to the U.S. government. Some claim they're supported by anti-kindred faction and Holy See. Some have even wilder theories. Sorry, I had a burp. You did this all by yourself? Have you seriously seen nothing? Nothing at all? I shake my head. Believe it or not, I have no idea how I got here. I just kinda let the shadows guide me. Is that a La Sombra thing? I've never actually talked to any of you. No idea what you guys can actually do. Still learning the ropes myself. Go with the flow and all that. My embrace was just a few months ago. Huh. So you folks are with the Ivory Tower now. Last I checked, you were with the Sabbat. The Cammies wouldn't forgive all of the trouble you've caused them overnight. Again, I'm practically still a neonate. I just know there's a lot of bad blood between my clan and the others, and that I can expect at least one glare of pure contempt whenever I visit Elysium. Ha! I see. We smoke in silence for a short while. Is there a large SI presence in New York City? The kindred are classified as terrorist presence. There's no other American city that was hit as hard by terrorism as this one. All secret agencies need symbolic victories. You do the math. And you're still taking these guys on here, of all places. As you can see all around you. Aren't they extremely dangerous? Almost got me for good last year. Took me a few weeks to get back in action. Then why are you doing this? Those motherfuckers have an unfortunate tendency to hurt people I care about. My brothers, my sisters. I see. I don't know how it is in other cities, but here, funny enough, they only seem to target marginalized and radicalized kindred, ones that could theoretically pose a threat to the current order. Meanwhile, the establishment in New York City hasn't really changed ever since Calibros stepped down. Quite the opposite. Every CI raid in the city has only strengthened the old paradigm. Almost makes you think that their goal is something other than protecting the citizens from blank body menace. Tamika throws her cigarette into the puddle, unfinished, and crushes it under her heel. She obviously has difficulty smoking. It's like she's only ever tried it a few times. I assume she saw me carrying a pack and decided to try to calm her nerves after the battle. Or maybe she just wanted an excuse to make our conversation less awkward. Who knows? So, are you planning to snitch on me, Shadow Girl? And why would I do that? Let me get this straight. You really think I am a dumb enough to... I'm not reading this right. I'm gonna take a sip of water. 1 minute. Alrighty. Let me get this straight. You really think I am dumb enough to believe for 1 second that a Camarilla investigator would just so happen to stumble upon the alley where I just killed a bunch of SI motherfuckers? If so, you're the one who's dumb, sister. I don't care if you think I'm dumb. I don't care about SI. And I don't care if you believe it was a happy accident I met you, especially considering not even the sheriff knows where you are. But I care about solving the mystery of Callahan's death. And as it happens, you're one of the pieces of the puzzle. What? What are you talking about? I found this on his body. Well, what remained of it. I show her the note. She tries to grab it to read it, but I don't let her. Aside from your name, we've got Hope, Agatha, and D'Angelo. You know them? Passingly. Any idea why Callahan would need a list of all your names? I might know why, yeah. Do you? Absolutely. Do you know a man going by the name of Torque? Of course I do. Do you know about his connection to Boss Callahan? And by proxy, to this list and me? No, I'm all ears. Well, too bad. Because it's classified intel, sister. What do you mean by classified? Not free. Oh, great. As if we were in the position to or could afford any sort of quid pro quo, but fine, let's hear it. What do you want? She motions towards the bodies. I've killed too many of these assholes. They're tightening the screws. As it is, New York City is no longer safe for someone like me. Well, not that it ever was. Oh man, bracing for something unreasonable. What I need is a way out of the city. You offer that to me. I give you the intel you need. Would you look at that? That's something I can handle, actually, yeah. She raises her eyebrows. That's a surprisingly confident answer for a practically still a neonate. Something of an immigration officer. Gotta say, you sound awfully close to a cop. Almost as bad. A bureaucrat. I know of a secret pathway that would lead you to the West Coast. 100% safe travel, and if you took it, you'd be untraceable. Sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Wait until you see how much it costs. The only reason I know of this route is because a certain Nazi criminal group reached out to me on account of my position and offered a mutually beneficial deal regarding illegal kindred travel. I'm not doing it in Julia's voice. See, I keep slipping out. Normally I'd refuse, but they offered me the only thing that can buy me a lot of cash. Fine then. Money's not an issue. Now that's something I never had a chance to ever say in earnest. Okay then. I guess you want me to help you out before you do anything for me. Of course. But would you even accept this kind of deal? Hell no. Right. So we need to think of something that actually benefits us both. She's lost in her thoughts for a moment, then speaks up. Have you met Torque before? In the course of your investigation, or before. I wanted to, but on the Anarch side, I only managed to meet Mia, and she wasn't keen on the idea of two of us meeting. Ha, yes, Mia. Her expression betrays she's got some vicious stories to tell, but it would be beneath her to divulge them. Too bad, maybe. It could be a bonding experience. So here's the thing. A few months ago, Torque and I were together. A lot of things happened, and long story short, I no longer feel close to him. But from what I know, he still feels close to me. Back then, I thought there might be something between us. I gave him a ring that has a lot of sentimental value to me. And since these days sentimentally is all that keeps me going. Sentimentality. Sorry. I want it back. So my suggestion is tell Torque's people I sent you to get inside his base of operations. Meet up with him, ask him your questions, and convince him to get my ring back. You get to interrogate him. Then I get to have my ring back. Then you hear my side of the story, and then I get to leave the city with your help. Everybody wins, more than once. They will really let me in just because I tell them you sent me. They will, trust me. But that sounds too easy. What caused the two of you to drift apart? Irreconcilable differences in worldview. Well, I assume so, but that's a diplomatic answer. If I'm going to involve myself in the relationship drama of two ex-lovers, I'll need something more to go on. Will you? Yeah. She picks her words carefully. I realized I'd become an element of his clearly crafted projected image. Having me as a radical partner allowed him to present himself as a mediator while paying lip service to revolutionary ideas. A mediator that's 21st century for you. Everyone wants to be a middleman these days. And nobody wants to do the right thing. He's serious. Whenever I hear about Torque from the Ancilla, they talk about him like he's the second coming of Mao. If he ever seemed like that, it's only because from time to time, people like me pushed him into doing an uneasy thing. Ever heard of the Southern Wolf and Northern Fox? Both of them want to eat you for dinner, but only the Southern Wolf makes it immediately obvious. The trickery Northern Fox makes eyes and allows you to pet him before taking a bite. Torque loves to surround himself with Northern Foxes. They talk of compromises. They seem reasonable compared to the opposition, but at the end of the day, they have eyes on the same prize. Power. Hearing this gives me a foreboding feeling, but I can't quite nail down why. All right. Tell me where to go, and I'll tell you where we'll meet later. I'm just chilling at Torque's when suddenly a shrill, loud voice pierces my eardrums.
And what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, yay. It's the pissy lady from Torque's Inner Circles. I'm here to see Torque.
I figured as much. You should have gone through his security first. Get out.
And what if he tells me to stay?
Fat chance. Move your ass before I throw you out.
I thought you'd be more open to cooperation after our last talk.
Not when you're trying to make deals behind my back, bitch.
I can't do the voice again. I don't even remember what voice I did for her. Okay. Mia. It's okay. There he is, walking through the door, one of the most infamous New York City barons, or as some people started calling him the moment Callahan met his end, the Baron of New York City.
Torque, we talked about this.
The situation is a little bit different now. Tamika's sent her.
What? Bullshit. I wasn't able to track her down for weeks.
Well, I did. This is a reason to celebrate, not to get mad. No, if you allowed the two of us a private conversation.
No way. I want to keep an eye on her.
You will keep an eye on the exit, and that will be enough, please. He puts on his best authoritative tone, and it works. No protest this time.
See, they have a typo.
Mia leaves the room. When talking to Mia, you mentioned cooperation. First I've heard about it. I tried to make friends with her so that the investigation would go more smoothly. Looks like it wasn't appreciated. I'm sorry about her. She can be overzealous, but usually that's not a bad thing. Yeah, sure. So has she told you I've been trying to reach you for a few nights? I don't think so. Have you? Well, I'm the dumbass the court ordered to investigate Callahan's final death, so considering your connection to the case, I thought it would be prudent for us to talk. Ah, so that's you. Yeah, now I know you're probably anxious to hear about Tamika. I'm surprised to hear you two know each other. We actually met through this investigation. Anyway, as I was saying, I know you probably can't wait to hear about her, but I'd like to ask you a few questions first. I understand. Do your job. Did you know Douglas Callahan? Of course I did. We were both barons, kept having professional obligations to meet each other, but that was it. What was your private opinion of him? Same as everyone else's. A racist clown mentally stuck in the 18th century who spent too much time keeping the anarchs down. I'm glad he's gone. You mean you're glad he met final death? Well, you know what they say. Hate to see you go, love to watch you leave. Weren't you the first kindred who saw his corpse? I was, but it was his ghouls who found him. By the way, we've established that some of them tampered with the crime scene. They were properly disciplined for that. Convenient story. Let's move on. What's your alibi for that night? None. I was running around town the entire night, taking care of various issues. Unrelated to Callahan, but I don't intend to divulge them to someone from the Ivory Tower. So, you have no interest in proving yourself innocent? My official position was made clear. It's the Camarilla who are to blame. It's your job to prove me wrong. Cora Mac, at least once, can I feel a problem that can be solved with pure logic, not politics? Any findings on your side I should know of? Ask Mia, she's the one who handled the murder scene. I'm not privy to all the details. Hope D'Angelo and Agathon. Any idea who those people are? Can't recall, sorry. The evidence I've found suggests a potential link between Callahan and Tamika. Any clue? I knew both of them well, but as far as I know, they're never met. That's it. Oh well, not sure what I expected. He's the kind of guy that could only be pushed to talk if I had something concrete to push him with. Time to move on. Well, regarding Tamika, finally. I'll cut straight to the chase. She wanted to inform you she will be skipping town for a while. The SI is hot on her trail and she needs to lose them ASAP. Oh, I've told her countless times if she's in danger, I will always be there for her. Does she think she can find a secure way out of the city in this situation? She's safe. So you say. She's got some other friends in high places. She'll manage to get out. Gotta admit, that's not what I expected to hear. Or what I wanted to hear. Why did she decide to contact me? She wants her ring back. His aura changes in a blink of an eye. Ah, I see now. So that's why she didn't show up herself. Wouldn't even face me when delivering the final insult. Uh-oh. Looks like I stepped on a landmine. She said the ring was a symbol of trust she put in me. No way in hell I'm going to give it away. Not until she gives me the chance to explain myself. I need that ring to get Tamika to talk. But with the way he's acting, it doesn't seem likely he'd be willing to part with it. It might require me to act shitty, but maybe. Time to change my approach. What do we do? Let's lie through our teeth. Listen, this is none of my business, but I think you've got something wrong here. How exactly? She still loves you. Poof. He's only doe-eyed for a short moment, but it's obvious I hit him where it hurts. You said you just met her. How would you know? We fought an SI patrol together. That won me her trust. And then we had an unexpectedly honest talk, woman to woman. Glad Mia is away. If she was still in the room, I'd be far too embarrassed to let this shit escape my mouth. But Torque just nods, prompting me to go on. She's conflicted. She understands the painful realities of this world, but wants to hold on to her ideals. That's why it's hard for her to stay close to you. Even though deep down she resentfully respects your slow and steady work, she still wants to give her own approach to a chance. Oh my god, what am I doing? Then why would she want... Oh, then why would she want the ring? To me, it's an obvious message. I was wrong to put my hopes in you. It's punishment. She wants it to remember you by, and to have the symbol of those hopes near her, to remind her there's always another way. Look, I know this is hard for you, but you've got to give her time, and the benefit of the doubt. It will pay dividends in the long run. Slowly make her realize her misconceptions might have been wrong. Ah, a realization slowly dawns on him. Oh my god, he's actually buying it. I'm dying inside. He takes the ring out of his pocket and passes it on to me. Go. Tell her I'll be waiting, and that my feelings haven't changed. Of course. Should Mia lead you out? No need. No need, no need. I'll manage. As I leave, I feel very self-conscious about the pace of my walk. I feel like I just got away with murder. If he relays what I said to Mia, she will probably see through my bullshit in an instant. But, well, won't be my problem at that point. Time to meet Tamika. I find her already waiting in front of the Jewish Museum. How did it go? She raises her eyebrows as I put the golden ring into her palm. I'm quite surprised, to be honest. I didn't think you'd succeed. Turns out I'm a talented diplomat. From my experience, that usually means a liar. She looks at the ring with a gentle gaze, then stores it safely in her pocket. Or has he really changed? Who knows? I just met him for the first time in my life. Unlife. Anyway, I've kept my end of the bargain. Of course, it's time I keep mine. Last year, a certain fledgling appeared in the city and attempted to build a coterie. That list you found on Callahan? That's the list they've got. They contacted each of us and then found themselves in deep shit. SI, Kaiser, Sophie Langley, some shadow players manipulating everything from behind the scenes. Then, they disappeared. Kaiser. That name popping up once again. It can't be a coincidence. No one knows where or why. Doesn't really matter. That happens when you punch your way above your weight. Hope they're doing fine, despite all odds. Aw. In any case, Torque got involved too. That's how I met him, actually. Oh, I read that wrong. That's how I met him, actually. He got hurt. Didn't want to say how. Claimed it could be it. Put anyone he who knew in danger. Whatever happened, it gave him the drive and desire for change. For 2 months, he was a beautiful kindred, plain and simple. But suddenly, something in him snapped overnight. His tone mellowed out. His actions became timid. His language became more befitting of a political science student than a charismatic leader. I assumed he met someone who made him an offer he couldn't refuse, but I had no idea who that was. And then one night I followed him when he went out, and I saw him scheming at the docks with Callahan. When he came back, we had an argument. When he refused to explain himself, I knew I was on my way out. And that was that. I understand. Wish I'd known earlier. Might have confronted the facts with him and learned something more. He never told me of all kindred. What makes you think he would have told you? She's got a point, I suppose. All right. Thank you. Now it's my turn. Here's your way out. I point at the manhole below our feet. Here's a map of the sewers. Follow the route, then burn it. You'll be looking for a one-eyed Nosferatu wearing tactical gear. Tell him I sent you, then give him the agreed-upon amount of money. What kind of route will I be taking anyway? An armored van full of precious coffins. My man knows how to arrange them to allow for unnoticed extra cargo. Her face darkens. The circulatory system? What did you expect? The rich and powerful always get the blood they want, one way or another. At least tonight, one of their routes will be used for something good. She just drops her shoulders in resignation and opens up the manhole cover. Fine. But remember, if it doesn't work, I'll be back at your doorstep with a vengeance if it's the last thing I do. I'm sure it will work out fine. Just beware of a giant albino ghoul alligator while you're down there. Tamika rolls her eyes. Sewer ghoul alligator. For your information, it's just a story New York can tell to neonates to mess with them while they're still gullible enough to believe anything they hear about their new world. Oh, that makes sense, I suppose. Well, this is goodbye. In a few months, you hear that the first light presence in Los Angeles has been decimated. Assume that against all odds, I'm still unalive and kicking. Oh, Tamika, you're leaving? Okay, I'm actually really sad about this. I loved Tamika. I thought she was so cool. She's gonna go to LA to take on the SI though, all by herself. I guess that's really gangrel, isn't that? That's like peak gangrel right there. If you keep killing indiscriminately, you might cross a line of no return, you know. Shouldn't you take it easy for a while? Not until my brothers and sisters in blood stop being slaughtered. I care about what's left of my humanity. But turning a blind eye on kindred in need would be even less human. So that's the kind of person she is. And probably will be until the very end. It must be comforting in a way to know how your path will end. Yet you get to follow it all the same. I could never do that. Here's some parting advice for you. We might be monsters, but we were lucky enough to be born into a world that's even more monstrous than we are. If we rebel against it, we might still find salvation. If only I could believe it. Didn't expect the preaching down. Why are you telling me this? Because I think I have a pretty good nose for people's auras. And when I take a good look at you, I smell a penchant for ruthless opportunism. I smell someone who doesn't value the truth much. It's not much, just a hunch. But you seem prone to giving in to the Camarillah's empty promises of safety and their petite burgos values. I think I should take offense to that. I hope you do. That would reflect on you well. In any case, whatever happens, see you in your next life, Julia. Safe travels, Tamika. I skipped tonight's visit to the church. I'm not in the mood to see Benet. I'm still embarrassed about yesterday's outburst. And I'm kind of pissed none of the clan elders in Chicago bothered to reply to any of my fucking reports. No advice, no feedback, nothing. I feel like I was left utterly alone. Besides, it's late. I always get back to the apartment early in the morning, right before it gets bright. It's getting risky to be out here so close to sunrise. Accidents can happen. I'll try to get back earlier tomorrow night. Attempt to surprise Dakota. Yeah. I'm back. Yay. I'm gonna take a sip of water. How was work? All caught up? I managed to get my deadlines postponed. All our clients are canceling and delaying orders left and right. Huh. Does that mean you'll have time to help me with my makeup tomorrow? We'll see. Perfect. Alright. I need to disappear before the sun catches up with me. Hey. Yeah? I love you. Oh. An uneasy silence fills the room. I'm not getting out of this one, am I? Well, I've already come up with one love story tonight. What's another? I love you too. I quickly turn away to avoid looking at her sincere smile and leave to rest. Aww. That's sweet. Something bad's gonna happen to Dakota. I'm gonna end the stream here, I think. So thank you for watching the VOD because I don't think anyone really watches the stream, which is fine because I have a hard time looking at the chat because I have it on a laptop next to me while I'm looking at my main monitor. I don't have dual monitors. I'm not a cool kid yet. But thank you for watching this VOD if you watched the whole thing through. Thank you for keeping up with this series if you are watching this whole series and putting up with my craziness and my bad voices and everything. Thank you for being a supporter of this channel if you're a subscriber. Thank you for being a supporter of these videos if you like these videos. Thank you. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart to anybody who actually gives a fuck about my content. I really appreciate that. You have no idea, but I do. I really do appreciate that. I know I'm not a great channel. I know that my channel isn't amazing, and I know that there's a lot of other YouTubers out there who do playthroughs of the games I've been playing, and they're probably better at it. But if you did watch this and you're sticking with this series and you're sticking with my channel, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a supporter. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope that the rest of your day goes well. And I hope that, you know what, the rest of your month. I hope that 2021 sees good things your way, whoever is listening. And please do take care of yourselves. And, you know,
Maggots love you, but not as much as I do. Love, your malicious corpse.